Good morning, coffee projectors. Thanks for joining us today. And today we have on Peter Towee. Welcome, Peter.
Hi, Hannah.
So our topic today are tender responses. What on earth has PMLogic got to do with tender responses, Peter? Could you give us a bit of a lowdown on that?
We've got a team, and most of our team members have well over 20 years' experience out there in the private and public sector, as you mentioned earlier. And in that time, we all get to do a fair bit of tender writing, whether we're putting out requests for tenders or responding to them. And I guess I felt that we have a lot to share. It's another area where PMLogic can help other companies by augmenting their workforce and helping them deliver a high quality tender response.
Great. Could you give us your 3 steps for writing bids?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, it's understanding the objective and the purpose, coordinating and collaborating on that bid response and making a compelling case. So, in the first one, if we go back to understanding the scope and the purpose and the objective, what's the business case for doing the bid? Why should we even be bidding? Are we the right people to bid? We need to look at whether we're going to be able to mount a compelling case, and we want to look into finding what previous bid materials we've had so we can pull those in. And we really want to make sure that we touch on all the major features of the response, which are typically in the space of, say, technical or functional requirements, some level of program or project planning, and often a sustainment aspect or operational aspect, and then making sure we have the right commercial positions in our tender response. The next area is around bid coordination. And look, it's really important to have some sort of bid manager in there. A bid is like a project. It might be a small project, could be a very large one, depending on the size of your bid. But you also have to look at what areas of expertise you need to bring to bear on writing your response. Make sure you talk to those people early in the process, and make sure they've got the time so they can actually adequately contribute to the bid response. While you're going through that, during the coordination phase, you'll need to make sure there's a bit of regular oversight over the bid, that we're getting through it, measuring progress, so we can make sure we hit the response deadline. Very important.
Yes.
And finally, in the third area is making sure we put the best possible content in. And so it's really important that we understand that what the questions are that are being asked of us, or the selection criteria. We actually really want to make sure that we meet or exceed those questions or needs. We need to be clear and concise. It's probably a fairly obvious one, but it's not always easy to keep on message and keep that message tight. I've got a similar saying to what Greg had last week. For me, it's called less is more. So don't go on and just keep talking, but get to the point and make it clear. Obviously, spelling and grammar are important. Make sure you highlight your strengths and your key messages. Keep it interesting. If you can, get some diagrams and infographics into the tender response. Getting some very complex messages, making them simple and understandable for the widest possible audience. And I think through all those things, you should have a pretty compelling commercial offer there.
Well, Peter's been writing bids in the last few months, so he's a bit of a pro now. So if you ever need any more tips, please do message Peter. All right, thanks, Peter. We'll have to see you next time.
Thank you, Hannah.